Previously on Color Guards. Lucian invited the rest of the gang to his...
Your low-class ruffian friends coming to this fancy-smancy party of ours.
Gardigig hired out the gang for a jailbreak.
Rickig wasn't able to extricate those 4 goblins.
The gang set up an ambush to free the goblin captives.
They're going to have a strict roster or timeline and guide on guards and when they're being picked up and things like that.
The goblins revealed their fears about going back to the Shattergate.
They don't believe us. It's our heads. We'd rather rot in prison with our heads than sit out here without them. Do you understand me?
The gang negotiated with Gardigig in exchange for a favor.
Let's accept the deal and then swap it out.
Join us this week on Color Guards.
Good evening! Welcome to Color Guards. We are a live stream Let's Play D&D channel featuring an LGBTQ cast and crew. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This is episode 8 of our Ravnica campaign that we have ongoing. You just saw the fantastic recap of our episode 7 done by our amazing director of photography, Zane Pena. Thank you so much, Zane. You are absolutely fantastic. It looks so incredible and is better than any recap I've given in the past. Thank you for making me sound beautiful. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. For those of you who have been following along with us, we are Twitch affiliates. You can subscribe to us and follow us, and Twitch Prime subscribe to us. Those of you who have been Twitch Prime subscribers that joined on with that very first week that we earned our Twitch affiliate status, those are starting to come up for renewal, so definitely make sure to join us again for that. Thank you all so much for all of your support and all of your help. Anybody who is a new viewer or a new follower, let us know in the comments tonight how you managed to find us, whether it was through Twitter, through Instagram, so on and so forth. I got to meet a ton of really, really awesome, amazing people at Fan Expo in Dallas this weekend, so thank you all so much if you were coming in from that. It was really, really awesome getting to talk with you all and getting to hang out with everybody on Friday night, so kudos to all of y'all. Please follow us along on all of our social media pages. Those are going to give you brief glimpses and upcoming information for any of the special streams that we have set up. We have a lot of great stuff in the works for you guys, so keep posted, and we will update y'all as soon as we have concrete details for all the really awesome stuff that we have coming up soon for y'all. Well, with that, I think we are good to jump into tonight's episode of Color Guards. So, here in a few days, the esteemed Zilzaxos family, of which Lucian is a part of, is going to be hosting a party at their estate. Lucian's father, Lucian Zilzaxos, because nothing is more condescending than giving your child the exact same name as yours and not even giving him a junior. Lucian Zilzaxos, the head of the Zilzaxos family, currently at least those living, has tasked Lucian with inviting some of his own friends alongside the many that have been invited via Lucian's father, to this gala event at the end of the week, as Lucian's father wants to know who amongst the Orzhov have connections to people outside of the Orzhov. So this gala event is meant to kind of mingle and bring together the guilds, mostly in an information gathering and kind of like bothersome way, so that Lucian's father can get as much information and kind of like blackmail as many people as possible, essentially. But the party themselves have a bit of an ulterior motive, hoping to find out a little bit more about who outside of the Orzhov or within the Orzhov might have connections to what's going on with this Thopter conspiracy that they've been investigating ever since the riots that broke out on the Transguild Promenade, where these Thopter devices, seemingly manufactured by the Azorius, kind of let loose and attacked everybody, and have since then been seen amongst other Azorius facilities, as you all saw last week at the Azorius holding facility, keeping watch. So it looks like they're starting to kind of spread out and be used more often. So that leads us off with Lucian inviting the rest of the gang to his family's gala. Go.
Hello, gang. I have great news. You have all been formally invited to my father's gala.
Okay. I need another invitation then.
Why?
Because I have other company that I want to bring.
But I just assumed
Yes, actually a date. I would like to bring a
you
date.
have a date.
Yes, I do.
I just kind of assumed you would go with me.
No.
That's such
No.
depth of character.
No, I have another date. And I would like to invite them.
I mean, I don't think my father would allow a +1 in this situation. You know, I don't think it can be done. I'm sorry.
I think it can be done. And it would. What?
I would say, I think Lumi could have my invitation, because I think Lucian and I have other plans on how I'll be attending.
What?
I think that's amenable. I would take his invitation so there's not just a floating invitation around. And then he has other means to get into.
Or you could use my invitation.
Oh, yes? See, I'm getting all the invitations.
I've probably already been invited. My mother always invites me to big events. I just don't go.
Huh. I'll take that.
They're non-transferable. I can't receive and give it to
Okay,
you.
Ticketmaster. What? I mean... Okay.
The next D&D class, ladies and gentlemen.
Ticketmaster.
Lucian Zolzaxos, a level 3 Ticketmaster.
That's actually what I'm going to take my next level in. 2 levels of Wizard, 1 level of Ticketmaster. So I really want the hidden fees fee.
There you go, there you go. Oh my god. Oh.
Oh,
Just
man.
warming up, guys.
Look, okay. I would like to invite someone else. It is a ministrant that is at Orzhova, and I would like to get some good grace in the church. I'll be honest.
This is a work thing.
It's a work thing.
A work friend.
Sure,
Friend, yes.
we'll go with work friend. But yes, it's a work opportunity.
Okay, this is... Why didn't you say so? This is fine. I'm fine with this.
Are you actually fine with this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. I feel like something happened with you when I was gone, and so I'm intrigued by what's going on with you and this new demeanor.
He
But
didn't die.
He wrote a magic spider leg.
I missed a lot. Anyways, thank you for the extra ticket. So I will take the extra ticket and I will work on that. So yeah, I will. Whose ticket am I taking? Or am I? You just have an extra on?
I don't know. I mean, he's I guess in charge, but I plan on we're setting up a meeting, right? Because we have some we have a whole lot of booze to sell.
That's right, we do, yes.
Ooh, booze.
You didn't tell her, did you?
Oh, well, well, obviously we didn't just sit and twiddle our thumbs until you got back. We were busy.
Okay.
We cut a deal with the Shadow Gang.
Of course.
And Shadow Gang will be providing booze for the party if all goes well.
You know what? I have no follow-up questions. I don't care.
It's not a convoluted plan.
No.
We really are just selling booze. I mean, they're trying to get a little.
I don't actually care.
They're trying to make
at
a little
all.
money on the up and up, and you know, a little might come our way. So you know.
Again, don't care as long as I get an extra ticket. That's all I care about right now. So as long as I get another ticket, you can sell all the booze you
And
want.
then the 4 of us, I guess, will split the profits from the booze because apparently Lumi doesn't want to be involved.
I honestly don't care. I don't understand how that doesn't seem to come across that I don't care.
Maybe if you said it a few more times.
Maybe I'll just keep telling him, and so he understands.
Do you know any other languages? He might get it then.
Yeah, no, seriously. My was it Elvish that I know? But I'm not even going to get into that. But
You have to help sell the booze
No, I'm not
by
selling
drinking
booze.
a lot of it.
Oh, that I will do. Okay, that's fine.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's
Lumi didn't
bad
understand
booze.
what was
It's
asked
goblin
of her.
booze.
I don't think you understand that there is no liquor that I will not drink. I put enough poison in myself, it doesn't matter. Anyways, ticket, please. Second ticket.
Is it actually a ticket situation, or are we like on a list?
Lucian pulls out, he hands one to each of you, and it's this beautifully gilded,
It's a golden ticket.
like golden,
We all have the golden tickets to the Orange
filigree
Rock.
on the outside, and it is like deep, deep black ink,
Oh.
beautiful on it. And he proceeds to write each of your names to present you with a ticket of invitation. And
Mine has my name, and then the other one has Minister Amiri on it.
Your boss.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to move up the ranks, are you?
Sure.
You're so cagey. We're all friends. You can tell us.
No. No. So yes.
No to us being friends, or no to? I'm getting a lot of mixed signals from you today,
I don't have
Lumi.
tickets. I have things to do before this party.
Something.
I have to go
something?
find an outfit, and I have to go find a Mirian outfit. I have things to do.
You're shopping for your
one?
boss's clothes.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. That's actually something I'm doing. Not gonna get into it. I don't want to. So yes, ticket, please.
getting like a full-on Devil Wears Prada vibe, and I'm just kind of living.
And then
Lumi was gone for one day, and she has just changed. completely.
Changed?
No, it's
Really?
yeah.
She seems the same to me.
No.
Korak's not having it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
completely
"That's
different person.
shady
But I
bitches,
know.
shady bitch.
Yes, exactly that.
Wonderful. So Lucian provides you all with invitations, gives you all advice on how to dress accordingly.
They're much fancier than I'm used to. We get them on bits of gilded wood.
Wood.
It's really nice. I hang them on my wall.
I get to see the wall.
That's the best.
There's like hundreds of
All the
them.
parties
Just
that Mountain didn't go.
didn't go to.
And I do expect everyone to be on their best behavior. Just like a little bit of decorum in class goes a long way.
You're staring at
These
me.
people.
Are you,
Yes.
Are you worried?
No decorum and class.
just keep the rage here. Just stuff it all inside and mash it down.
Don't worry.
Don't acknowledge it.
Don't worry. I'll offer a drinking contest and an arm wrestling contest
Oh, no.
in your house.
Oh, I'll
And I'll challenge your father at
Oh
it.
no.
From what I've heard, it really does help to just bottle all of the emotions up, just put a little stopper on them, push them way, way down, and don't think about them.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm just here. I'm just going because you guys want me there, I suppose.
I don't know
Of
whether
course
y'all
we
are
want
talking
you
about
there.
like your personal selves or just like other characters.
We're blurring a lot of lines here.
What's happening?
Ooh.
Of course we want you there. We wouldn't want to go without you.
Anyways.
I want you there. I want all of us there together. I thought we were.
Oh, we're family.
Lunch the other day.
Oh my god.
We're in this
We're
together.
family.
We're family now.
Loxodon hug.
No.
Introducing us to
No.
his parents.
No. Lumi, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god. 18.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm fine.
You very quickly squirm your way out of a.
Oh,
Almost
yeah.
forced
I'm trying to push away against him too, by the way.
Go for it.
Oh my goodness.
Rolling the big dice.
Woo.
No, you get a Loxodon hug.
What is it? A constitution?
Dexterity
Oh,
saving throw.
I get like a 12.
A 12. Nah, you
Nah.
get full
He
on
got
hug.
you.
Like, it's really. Like, it's a beautiful hug.
Oh, can't miss you.
Oh my god.
So Lumi squirms out of the hug and just proceeds to walk away.
Yeah, basically.
And now we have Lucian is going to be
Yes.
facilitating a
We went over the trick. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Goblin booze tastes like good booze. Everyone loves it. We make a big sale. Just it should be a quick in and out conversation. I'm a natural at this. I think I can handle it. It's probably best that I work alone here too. I think just for efficiency's sake.
You know, I think I agree with you. I think my presence there would only make my father more angry.
Yeah, that if that's what you think,
She's got like this baseline of anger, just so you know. So just try not to press any of his buttons. Don't try any of your cutesy games. Like he won't take it well.
define cutesy game.
I want you
play a lot of games.
I want you to imagine everything that you do, in regards to communicating with other people that you think is like just really grand and swell, like all of those things. You think like I'm proud of myself. I'm Darius, and I'm this shining star, like influencing other people's lives. Don't do any of those things. like if you view the interaction in a positive light, think about that, and then don't do it. Do the opposite of that.
Okay, well,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm just saying, don't be yourself. Is the best advice I can give.
okay, well, I will take your notes into consideration and review my character.
Character or self?
And yeah, no, I'm ready. Whenever it can happen, today, tomorrow, let's do it.
So the time arrives, and Lucian helps escort you. Are you currently in your disguised
I will take
form?
on the disguise of the very gaudy, like, a little too much makeup, like
Far too
drawn on
dark
eyebrows,
contouring.
very contoured, angular elf, and just gaudy Orzhovan, like my idea of what Orzhov looks like, which is just way overdressed and too much like gold and
Perfect.
yeah,
All I can think about is that audio.
and with like the fanciest bottle that I could get my hands on, but filled with the trashy like goblin toilet moonshine. That I'm trying to
Roll me a investigation check.
Oh, a 12 is not terrible.
Okay. You get a pretty good bottle. It's not like a straight. It's not like a bottle that you would expect to buy booze in or anything like. It's one of like the beautiful, like maybe it's got like a little bit of curvature to it.
It probably used to be
Yeah.
a perfume bottle or something. It's just a pretty.
Yeah, you may or may not have stolen
out.
one of Alicia's like big beautiful perfume bottles and like repurposed it for goblin moonshine.
It's all to sell the con.
So
Or- Cutesy game.
Lucian invites you in, and this does not take place within your father's study. He does not meet outsiders
not
within
invited,
his study.
yeah.
That is not of his way.
I'm aware.
He has set up, rather, his servants and your family's servants have set up a small tasting table here within the foyer. And you can see there are workers just coming along back and forth, out the back doors to the garden, up and down the stairs into the various areas. It's just a bustle here within the Zilzaxos estate. And seated behind a small table with two glasses, one without ice and one with ice, is the master of the house, Lucian Zilzaxos. And he greets you and says, "Thank you, son. That will be all. Find yourself something to make you useful."
I'll give a small bow at the waist, just a very polite. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Zilzaxos.
He goes, "And you are..."
I am a connoisseur of fine spirits, and I was hoping to give you a sample of our finest wares.
I'm sorry, and do you have a name? Or are you just
yes.
connoisseur of fine spirits?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me, my manners. To be in the presence of someone so eminent as yourself.
Yes,
forgive
yes, I
myself.
know, I'm wonderful. Continue.
My name is.
Is Darrison like flipping through a book? Trying
Excuse me.
Malakrit de Arison.
I need you to roll a deception check for me.
Natural 20. I took notes on my character. I studied. I practiced. I rehearsed. I am embodying Malakrit de Arison.
De Arson.
Today.
Is that a
There are 2 apostrophes, yes.
so that would be D apostrophe A-R-E apostrophe son.
S-O-N.
Son. De Arson. Beautiful. Great.
That
he was-
French.
That's,
Sorry, the Elvish.
I'm so sorry that I haven't heard of the D'Arson family name before, but you come to me very humbly in your dress and demeanor.
Yes, we are originally, no, I don't want to bore you with my story, but a low-born family.
Don't
But-
care about your story. Present your product that you wish to be featured at our gala in 2 nights.
Of course, of course. Well, do you prefer on the rocks or straight up?
You will pour both.
Of course. And I will begin almost like a really like the little tea rituals, like a very like showy display of like
Yes.
uncorking the bottle and setting it aside.
Mhm.
A lot of waves and gestures as I work that little prestidigitation.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
7.
Oh.
Oh no.
You see him just kind of take note and see each hand gesture and see each one, and you see one eyebrow just kind of cock. Continue.
Making it smell and taste much, much better than it does. And as I pour just a nice sip into each glass and cork the bottle and set it aside.
And tell me about your product.
Oh, it is a new recipe we've been working on from the finest berries and citrus that we grow in our own gardens.
Kind of takes
Hint
it
of
and sniffs a
lavender,
little bit.
floral notes, aged in fine oak casks for 2.5 years, and then we move them into cedar casks for another 8 months.
Roll a deception check.
You betrayed me, so this one.
Oh.
A 13?
You actually say like, oak and then cedar, you say.
Yes, we realized the traditional methods do not yield quite such a fruitful and robust flavor, and we wanted something that really sets this apart from surely anything you've tasted before. For such a grand occasion such as this, we want something that would be memorable for all the guests.
Kind of takes the one that's on the rocks, kind of swirls a little bit. Says, and where did you say you got this from? Your family's.
Our family's garden, yes. We have a small plot of land just beyond this precinct, and we grow it all in our backyard at home.
Kind of snaps his fingers, and the 2 guards on either side of the table who have like fully covered faces. It's just like a gold plate with the symbol of Orzhov in the middle and
It's
like
a Bersnigian.
tiny little eye holes. They just kind of part way unsheath their blades. He goes, I'm sorry. Where did you get this?
I'm sure Darrison knows the geography of Ravnica better than I do, so I don't actually know the names of
Like you give a name of a.
Yeah, just like a lesser known area,
Like the ninth
Where
or
there's
eighth precinct.
trees
Cool.
that grow. I
Great,
don't know.
it's fine. Roll me another deception check.
It was a 19 and it rolled to a natural 1. For a total of 6.
He goes. Between your gaudy show of attempt at hiding your magic that you've put on what I just ingested, don't worry. Even if it was poison, it wouldn't hurt me. I just wanted to know who you actually work for. And if you don't feel the need to be honest with me...
Forgive me. I understand that you did not want to hear my life story. I am, as I said, a humble, lowborn...
Stop! Is it Selesnya? Is it Krinko? I honestly don't care one way or another. I just would really love to hear the truth out of your lips for like 2 seconds.
Well, it is something I am unaccustomed to, I suppose. But you have me at an impasse. I am here on behalf of Gardigig.
Hmm. Interesting.
But I assure you we're very... on the
Box
up
up
and
the
up.
lot, we'll take everything. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. And you said your name was... The Arison?
The Arison.
Wonderful. What was the first name? One more time.
Malacrit.
Malacrit. Can you spell that out for me?
Malecrit.
Wonderful. Did you get that? Yes. Thank you. And there were 2 apostrophes in that godforsaken last name.
Yes.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. We will see to the payment at the conclusion of the party. See to that. Thank you. You can bring the rest of them in. It was wonderful knowing you. And you see a attendant behind him has this huge, like, almost ledger book. And give me a perception check.
17.
17. You can see as they kind of set it down on the table next to him as they go to clear away the things. There are tons of names in this book. And you can see like little writings next to them of like the things that they have provided to the party. And you see it like Malacrit de Arison, the booze order that you described. And then they also write next to it just SG.
Are there any names that I would recognize in this ledger?
Roll a history check.
It's just a 2.
Oh, just
Yeah, my history's
straight
just a
2. Unfortunately, you don't get a long enough look at it to be able to kind of like grab other people's names. You just kind of like clock how your name is being written down and what is being written down with it before they start picking it back up. So you're not able to kind of like take a long enough look at it. She goes, "Thank you, wonderful. That'll be it."
Absolutely. I will bow and see myself out before he sees through any more of my magic tricks.
So you have successfully gotten the booze order approved. Yeah.
I will. I will get a. I would like to get a disguise, and I would like to dress myself up as like a waiter for this party to serve the booze. at the party rather than going as a guest.
Great. Roll me a.
I do have like a disguise kit as part of my.
You do?
Costume clothes.
Okay, great.
Costume clothes.
Roll me a.
And a disguise kit, yeah.
Roll me a history check one more time. Okay.
It's a 5.
5? Okay.
I didn't go. I'm like probably like a 6th grade education.
It's okay. You clocked
graduate.
enough of the people who were going in and out, so you have a general idea of like
What they would wear.
the idea of attire of a servant person. It's probably not like the official uniform. You might be like the B squad.
I'm like the guy like.
A servant called in sick and they needed somebody to come in and cover and serve drinks.
Like when the like vodka company like sponsors a party and they have
Bet.
the one guy that shows up there in like the merch and like just serves that vodka the whole night. That's me
Bet.
for this party.
You are the vodka girl.
Yeah, I'm bottle service for everyone's
You're
sake.
the vodka girl for the Shattergang brothers.
You gotta start
Sister
somewhere.
Ray.
What is this game that we're playing? I
You gotta
love
start
it.
somewhere. Work your way up.
Oh,
Run this
man.
place in no time.
All right, Lumi.
Yes.
You needed to acquire clothing for yourself,
Yes.
and you were tasked by Minister Tamiri for getting her something beautiful.
Right.
I
mean,
you
I
would have no inclination of probably where to shop
No.
for these clothes.
No.
So make a investigation check to try to like. Oh,
What is it? That's a 20, dirty 20? No, 21.
21. Okay. So you may not have shopped at these places
Right.
yourselves, but you know a general idea of like where you may have
Where to fancy.
tailed a fancy person or two
Right.
from Orjov to kind of, send a message.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to find somewhere that would be able to sell you something of an appropriate garb for a rather fancy gala.
Okay.
And you would be able to acquire like the base outfit for yourself and for Amiri for 7 Xenos apiece.
14. Okay.
And that would get like the base outfit and then of course, accessories.
Oh, so like I'm set and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amiri probably going to put on like a
Well,
few
that's
more
fine.
accessories herself.
That was way more than I needed to do. But yeah.
Come
okay.
on, Ministrant of Amiri.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can deliver said outfit and invitation to Amiri.
Okay, so I want to do that. Yeah.
So you head back to the office, packages in tow, with the invitation for her, and you make your way in, and she's busy, kind of like taking notes from another tithe taker who is constantly like kind of over talking and probably trying to like sell Amiri on more than what they actually took.
Oh, okay.
And you just see Amiri like not even having it, just like, "You're excused, thank you." Lumi, come in. Yes. Have you finished the task that I set for you?
And I just hand her the invitation. Of course I did.
Wonderful. And the other is.
Oh, it is being delivered to you, or I have it? Do I have it, or
You
is
would
it?
have it.
Oh, I
You
have
have
it.
it.
So I'll give her the dress box, because I'm assuming everything comes in boxes.
No.
So dress box.
And she goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a plunge gold dress that like it's all just like slits and stuff like that. So yeah, and then mine's a silver dress and it's like high neck and it's long sleeves, but it's also short. So she wears it with like thighs, tights, but she can wear her like dagger underneath it and get easy access. So,
Okay.
but silver and gold. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see it. I seen it. I got it. Okay. Amiri just like she goes. This was an interesting choice that you've made for me.
I think it will be an interesting party. And I think everyone should make a statement. And I think you dressed in gold would do that.
She goes, "You're smarter than you let on. You know that, don't you?"
Yes, I do. I
Just
do.
a bit of an ego. I like that.
That's why you hired me.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Meet me here, 7 o'clock the night of the party.
Okay.
You can attend me. Thank you.
Mm.
That'll be all.
Okay.
Also, wear more than whatever it is you have planned for yourself. Dress yourself up. Find things.
Okay.
Take them from here if you need. Just, put them back.
Okay. I will do.
And you kind of give a quick look and are able to kind of like snag a few accessories.
Yeah, so like some kind of like big and like kind of necklace and some earrings and stuff like that. So, because I would do gold if I'm wearing a silver. Anyways, yeah. So, so and then yeah, on all of Mary's stuff would be silver. So it looks like we're actually like coordinated as like a power couple. Even though she doesn't actually know that we're a power couple, and
Not yet. It's time.
So yes.
Living for this. So the rest of you spend the next 2 days preparing for the party. And the afternoon/evening time of it does arrive. There's one thing that you note before you head off for the party is you've actually checked in with Alicia, and her and quite a few of her companions will actually be attending this party as entertainers and escorts at the
that
event
kind of party?
itself.
Well, it's a rich person's party. What'd you say?
It's like a rich people party. Like, of course, there's gonna be like an escort or two, like at the
And
ready.
a drug dealer somewhere.
Like, just ready.
Room.
So you all arrive, separate as you do. Thone, you probably arrive either a little bit early or a little bit late. Your decision. Than like the standard time.
Probably a little bit later.
Yeah.
I think Thone's too excited.
Yeah. So everyone else arrives. Thone probably the last of them. Also hoping to arrive not alongside other people that will be attending.
Yeah.
But you all arrive, and it is just a show of gaudy power.
Power and money.
There are floral displays and tapestries and even sometimes like little light displays picturing each of the guild symbols of Ravnica with, of course, the Orzhov symbols gilded in beautiful golden statuettes at the entranceway, bigger than any of the others, of course. And there are about 4 or so syndics, the regular kind of like low-level priests of the Church of Orzhov, out among the streets, regularly throwing alms coins out to the poor who are just like snatching them up. But you see a number of guards still keeping all of the poor that are snatching up the alms tokens at bay so that they do not impede the entranceway. You see a very, very tall, almost impossibly tall, and you get the idea that they may in fact be giantkin tall, individual at the front gate with just a full helmet, completely enclosed, has the gilded symbol of Orzhov and is just like dripping in gold and metal. Standing at the front gate, who holds their huge hand down and has been accepting invitations as you all walk in. As you all arrive, Thone, of course, the last of you all, as you all arrive, you enter into the main meeting area of the Zilzaxos estate. There are marbled floors as far as the eye can see. You are in the opening foyer, and the two side walls are covered in familial painted portraits, some of which have been magically animated to move on occasion. And you see far in the rafters, occasionally, like a faint spirit or two that kind of drifts through the walls from like one side of the room to the other. In between where you are and where the spirits are drifting far up above, there are tight ropes that are fashioned from one side of the room to the other that Rakdos acrobats, many of which you all actually recognize from Alicia's establishment, actually performing along top. And you can see kind of half draped on one of the stairwells, Alicia herself, kind of keeping watch and occasionally giving direction. And there are scores of people from all guilds imaginable here along the floor. You look up the two twin stairwells that lead up to the main entry level, and you can see two open doors far up above on the entry level floor that lead further into rooms up above. And you see numbers of guards stationed on either side of that, and at the grand stairwell that kind of leads further up into the estate, in between each of those rooms. More fully armored guards in full, like Orzhov embezzlements upon their helmets, just kind of keeping watch and enclosing the spaces that are not allowable to the party. And through the open French doors that lead from within the two here, you can see that this leads out to almost like a little like garden courtyard outside. And you all have arrived at the estate of the Zilzaxos family of the Ghost Council of Orzhova. What would you all like to do?
Do we get to just tell out what we're wearing?
Yes, let's do that. So, Lucian, we'll start with you.
So I'm in my fine vestments, like much like my little mini dude. It's white robe with the gold trim,
Beautiful.
black pants, dress boots. Hair is like much more cared for than usual, freshly washed and like perfumed and all that kind of stuff.
Love it. Beautiful. Your father has forbade you from bringing Bersmikian around your desk. And you do notice that all of the guards and attendants are here. The spirits may roam as they please, but that is because they are the spirits of the Orzhov. Nobody can give them forcible direction. But any of the flesh golem servants or anything like that have been forbidden from the party.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine I would arrange with the Shatter Gang to be part of like the liquor delivery as they like load it up in the back. So that's like I'm in my my like bartender disguise and like going into the kitchens and kind of like trying to be a fly on the wall at the party and hopefully move. People don't really pay attention to the wait staff at these kind of events.
You do notice before you arrive, the members of the Shatter Gang who have assisted you with delivering the booze took those potions that they had given you before, and they don't look like great. It's probably like the best way that a goblin could describe a human looking. So there's definitely like, if you took a goblin and just like made them look like a human and taller, that's probably what they look like.
Kind of an uncanny valley. Like if you look at it too long, you're like, this is
not right. But like in passing, it's fine. And to be honest, to the Orzhov, they're probably like, oh, these people aren't really Orzhov. They look ugly.
They look
Surprise. Yeah, they look poor. Surprise. So they just kind of brush it off and let it go as you unload all the booze. And you can see there are tons of other guilds and groups represented, like, supply-wise within the kitchen. You see a few Selesnian elves actually prepping fruit platters and vegetable platters. And you see them prepping what looks like this big pot of like spicy sauced squash. Like this
That sounds
big old
good.
squash. Bad. You see a few civic scientists kind of like toiling away, and they are prepping this big bowl of poached minnows, but they look like oversized. Like they are not minnows, but like they're minnows. Like they are big. Obviously, like with some,
Like
you
those,
know.
5-pound goldfish.
Come on, yeah,
They're
come
like-
on,
should've
come on,
been-
GMO minnows. You see like a few other folks. They don't appear to have any like gilded representation on them, and they look upset, kind of at what they're like. They don't agree with what they're doing, but they're kind of like doing it for the job. And you see them prepping candied figures, like candied treats, that look like crawl, like the insectoid Golgari race, for it. And then you see other folks prepping like other wines and fine cheeses, things like that. And so you kind of get that, and the kitchen leads out from a side door that leads into that little hallway that leads out to the garden.
Mhm.
So like you would walk into that little hallway. Directly forward would be the gardens. To the right would be the kitchen. And there you are at the party.
Are weapons allowed, first off? Or no?
They, similar to how Precinct 1 holds their laws, you may keep weapons on your person, but you must declare the weapons that you bring with you,
Okay.
and you cannot brandish them at the party.
Okay, so I've already declared that. Korak, being Korak, he comes, unlike his normal furred palindrome, he's got a skull of a boar. And it looks like it's been carved into, and it looks very old shamanistic. Where his cape, the bloodied old black and faded red, is now a more, still faded, looks like more of like a Gruul banner that got ripped off, and he just threw it over his shoulders.
Less war-torn.
Black. Well, it's still pretty war torn.
It's great. I guess the closest.
Yeah, his normal harness, the browns, have now turned, they're black with accents of red. His fur has been painted with old tribal looking colors, and his horns have been carved. This was all in the direction of his contact.
Nelroa, who is
Yes.
also going to be attending.
She
the
was
party.
like, you best look
Can get you dressed up.
a
Makeover.
little more fancier than,
Okay.
because this is what I imagine they would do in a more ceremonial way.
She
and she's treating this as a,
She advised you to dress more like ritualistic, more like more spiritualist in garb, because it still attends to the Gruul way, but not
heathens.
yeah
Or heathens.
yeah not blood covered in
mud.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's a lot more. He
Very
still
nice.
looks brutish, but he's got more of that ceremonial look.
Take it.
He's got a little flute on the side of his hip. He plays a little flute, so he's got it with him.
Okay.
He's gonna go to the garden.
Since Thone arrived last, I'm gonna skip you for a second and come right back to you. Lumi and Amiri.
So Amiri comes up in the dress, which is just this like plungy, like it's that kind of dress where you know like you have the cuffs, but then it's like slitted up and stuff like that. It's just a very long, kind of flowy dress. She's wearing adornments and like dangling earrings.
In addition to it, she's actually added a like a silver gilded corset on the outside that stops just at the end of the plunge.
Fucking love it. I'm all over this. Yes, and so yeah, she's wearing that. She's wearing like the heels and everything like that. She's looking kind of old school, like Hollywood with the and then a corset. And then Lumi, she's looking like Orzhov 1970s club. So she's wearing like a metallic long sleeve dress that's short, like a sheath dress, dark kohl, and like a necklace that she got from the thing.
Very like 70s go-go.
Yes. And so that's how she's dressing. So it's kind of like opposites, but they also kind of match, kind of thing. And so,
of course they match.
No, of course they do.
Of course they match.
So, and then so that's what she's wearing. And then she's wearing her boots, like more of a more formal boot, but it's still she's wearing boots, not heels.
It's a go-go boot.
Yeah,
I guess
of course.
Yes.
And then of course she's got a dagger hidden in it.
Since you hit a dagger and did not declare a dagger, go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Okay. Oh, no, that didn't work out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so.
No. Unfortunately, they did claim the dagger from
Well, at least I tried.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You do still have your, do you have your light crossbow with you, or did you,
I didn't bring that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will be maybe wearing rings that might have something in them, maybe? Could that be a possibility?
You would have had time to pick up,
the stuff from Nicole?
The stuff that you had, so
Yeah.
you do have, an ingestible poison.
Okay.
And you do have, I think the other one was a basic poison.
A basic poison.
To coat weaponry.
Yeah, so she's just wearing them.
So you would have a ring that has the
ingestible
ingestible poison in it, so you can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you need poison?
You don't know this.
My business.
You don't know my life.
Thone, the last to arrive, what did you wear to said party?
I don't know.
Thone is wearing a large, white, clearly aged and not often worn, a large white robe with a hood and a sash that has the Selesnya logo on it in beautiful bright green in the front. The sash used to have beautiful gold trim and decoration on it, but clearly that's kind of faded and cracked a little bit. So
Out of disuse or
out of disuse,
improper use?
like maybe a little bit of both. Clearly Thone has tried, and he's wearing the right stuff without necessarily all the accessories, but it's not in the best shape. Almost.
It kind of is it's the kid that goes to like the school dance and his dad's just here, like, have a suit. It's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So you arrive
Just like
here within the party, and you can pretty quickly clock all of your other friends. You kind of do a quick once over of the room, and you spot Korak looking better dressed than you've probably ever seen Korak. Like, there's not a single drop of blood on Korak's outfit. It's looking really great. Like,
And as far as brush,
Yeah.
he
No blood. That's the
that's the
benchmark.
thing.
yeah, no
I mean,
problem.
the marking could be considered.
Look, all I'm saying is that if a barbarian is never covered in blood, like, that's a great sign, and they're doing such great work.
yeah, it's a fancy.
Mama Kardashian would be right there with that camera, just like, you're doing great, sweetie. Keep going. You clock Darrison doing his best waiter impression, serving booze to everybody around the party. You see Louie looking like a piece, right next to beautiful, kind of darker skinned woman. The browns of her skin looking gorgeous next to all of the gold and silver that she is wearing. You spot Lucian looking, I guess, technically slightly more well dressed than he usually dresses, since he dresses really well. It's just like Lucian plus.
I can't.
You probably can. And before you get a pretty good look at the rest of the party, another Loxodon steps in your way. a little bit taller than you,
Oh, no.
and looking down at you with this very condescending look, kind of straight down her trunk. You can see she is dressed in robes similar to yours, but a little bit more refined. Very much akin to almost like a diplomat, almost. It has the robe, but it also has like a beautiful collared blouse underneath it. And there are various adornments along her tusks. And everything is a little bit better well maintained. And she just kind of looks down at you and goes, I did not expect to see you here, son.
Unfortunately, I expected to see you here.
Oh God.
She just kind of looks at you and you see like a little bit of a scowl appear beneath the trunk. She goes, do what you can to avoid me.
Good luck with your diplomacy.
What?
Good luck with your... Lord, I don't even know what it is you stand for these days.
I'm just gonna walk on by.
And that is where we're going to take a break. Oh my gosh. So we will be right back with the rest of the party as everybody kind of jumps into the heat of things. We'll kind of take a few turns, let everybody get some fun party time in. When we jump back in, I'll actually have the rest of the party roll me perception checks once we return to see who kind of saw this moment go down.
Okay.
Between Thone, because you all have been arriving slowly but surely and kind of waiting for the rest of the party to arrive to kind of be able to somewhat check in with each other. So we'll kind of see who managed to catch this moment between Thone and his mother. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We're going to take a quick, about 10 or so minute break. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you have a suggestion for a party member who could be or a party goer who could be here within this fabulous gala here at the Exos Estate, let us know in the comments. I could see what I can do and get them worked in for you guys. So thank y'all so much for sticking with us, and we will be right back in about 10 or so minutes. Have a good break, y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us through the break. We are back with the fancy gala at the Zelzaxos estate. The party last left off with Thone arriving to the party last and being confronted by his mother, another Loxodon, who regularly attends the parties and did not anticipate her rebellious son attending the same party that she was. So, I will start things off with asking the other members of the party. I have to keep so you all are the party. This is the gala. We're just gonna get that right now. Okay. Because otherwise,
It'll be a party and a party.
I will mess things
Party
up.
and a party.
Party. So, to start things off, I will ask the other members of the party to roll perception checks for me.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
9.
8.
18.
Hey! So Darrison is a little too distracted by serving drinks to guests and things. It's fine. Lucian is trying his very best to avoid his father and other members of the law mage, who was very upset with the fact that you chose necromancy as your specialty. She is also here, so you are just trying to avoid as many people in the
I'm just playing that game of like hiding the whole time.
Yeah,
Avoiding a lot of my
you're just gonna like
contact,
duck underneath this person and like go talk to this person and like, oh my god, that's
Like
so
me,
funny.
I'm
We've
party.
never talked before, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk to you. You're doing that thing. But you two, on either side of the stairwell, is where y'all are. You see Thone across the way. And before you can even react, you see a much taller Loxodon woman stand in front of him. And then walk off, and you catch it with a bit of a look of, like, disdain and, like, supreme disinterest in his presence here.
Okay.
There you go.
Like, how close are we on the opposite?
Y'all are on each stairwell that leads up to the entry level. So the foyer, the grand foyer itself, has 2 curved stairwells that lead up to the main entry level, of which there are 2 other rooms. So y'all are you're on one level with Amiri walking up the stairs, and you are on the other level.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, because I was thinking, because when I think it's twin stairs, I think there's like that meeting point, and then there's a small little part. In
No,
front, and then
they
there's
just
the
kind of like
sides.
go up to either side there.
Okay.
I just clock it and then just keep doing what I'm doing.
I'm pretty sure she's not interested in knowing that I'm here, so I'm just gonna.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So you just head on into the dining room.
I am
with,
just hanging out with Amiri,
with
yeah.
Amiri to
Yeah.
get a drink.
Do I see him doing whatever he's doing, or is he in a different room?
Roll a perception check.
that didn't count.
No.
18.
Nicer.
I would say that you catch Lucian kind of
Start rolling her dice.
flitting about the party
Okay.
more so than. Flitting is not a verb in which you would ever attribute
Yeah, that's
to
true. So I noticed something's
Lucian's
amiss,
activities.
yeah.
But that's probably the most accurate way to describe it.
That's fair. Okay.
Did you have any reaction to Thone and this person?
Well, I wasn't able to really see the disdain or anything, was I? Because she saw it.
I
You
saw
you
it,
didn't
yeah.
clock the disdain, but you did clock like
A tense conversation.
Thone kind of like having a bit of a pause afterward.
Thone's getting a drink.
Yeah, I'm just maybe I'll go and follow him. I
Okay.
noticed it, but I want to follow
You
him.
kind of like wait a second, and you notice that Thone kind of like takes the stairs like nearest to you, kind of like clocks you because you have already walked off at this point.
Yeah.
But you both kind of meet kind of at the base of the stairwell. You kind of like take a few steps down to like at least let him know that like you're there. There.
Having some trouble there.
Same trouble I've always been dealing with. It's just my mother, and she's probably responsible for being behind what we're fighting. She acts as a diplomat, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's for building a prison rather than against it.
Well, would you? I'm pretty sure the drinks here that are being sold aren't going to be very great. Would you like some? I'm pull that drinking horn I have on the side because it's all my
Well,
name.
that goblin garbage we're selling will kill whatever's in you.
What?
You notice a few kind of like looks and scoffs and like from like a few people directly around you on the stairs, and they kind of like scoff away and kind of like lead off and go back down the stairs and look like they're heading out towards the gardens instead of upstairs to get a drink where they were originally anticipating going.
Oh, sucks for them. It's good stuff. I'm gonna go have some.
So y'all both head upstairs, and there we have Amiri and Lumi.
Yeah.
Within the dining room. You know what's up with at least some of the booze. So you very clearly choose your drinks
Yes.
when ordering.
I told her that we were providing booze.
Huh?
We told her the Shadow Gang was providing booze for the party.
Yeah. There's like multiple levels. So there's
Top shelf.
yeah. I was gonna say there's booze, which is like
Goblins on the
like
The bottom, you got the
you
little
are
stuff.
providing the liquor. Somebody else is providing wine, and somebody else is providing like
Spirits.
some
Ale
ale
or something.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Not many. You notice not many people actually actively ordering the ale.
Okay.
Even
Except
though
me.
it is a beautiful
And
IPA
me.
ale, let me tell you.
I mean, I would.
But Amiri kind of takes a glass and is like, I expected you to be more of a stronger taste.
Yes, but I mean, refined establishments call for refined drinks. I am all for assimilation.
She just kind of like twirls her glass, but she goes, you
Yes.
confuse me and entertain me, Lumi. You're
Those
having
are-
all that I expect from my other tithe takers.
That's the best compliment you've given me.
I'm glad you see it as such. It is.
So, yes, thank you for that. I am happy to be with you on this event, and I want to drink wine as a celebration of what we are accomplishing as a duo.
So, of course, I wish you to attend, but
Yes.
this is not a night off.
Of course.
Obviously, we can't take actual permanent tithe akin to, well, what you're so beautifully wearing yourself.
Thank you.
But we can gather what information we can. So, do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Escort me around the party.
Okay.
Find out what we can about anything we can use.
I am amenable to this idea, but I would think, being creative, that it would be easier for me to get information if I was escorting myself around the party.
Roll a persuasion check. Providing contact.
No. What is it? What, persuasion? It's the 4?
No, you're fine.
Oh, Mary has been drinking.
Yeah,
She
it's
doesn't
fine.
know. She took a big
She
hit
took
of that
the-
moonshine right away.
Miri's wearing a gorgeous fucking dress that you got her, and she's now properly wind up.
I know how to
She's
do
like this big, guys. Like she's a lightweight. It's fine.
it. Yeah.
She hits the communion wine a little bit too much. Miri's kind of looks at it and she goes, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Check in with a few places. The library, the garden. Come find me on the dance floor. We will put up airs while you tell me what you found.
That sounds...
I'm going to go enjoy the views. And you see her kind of like look outward and kind of clock one or two of the Rakdos performers that are performing along the tightrope. They are wearing rather suggestive clothing, probably like very tight leathers, things like that. Everything is very well covered, but their outfits themselves think akin to kind of like the hoops of a dress, as it were, along the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But within each of the hoops are actually like knives or prick pins, so that as they perform along the tightrope, if they don't maintain their balance and they falter, that it pricks them, and everybody is akin to their things. So it's a little bit more danger to the like the proper tightrope dance, if you will. And Amiri just kind of like clocks one or two of them and goes and stands at the balcony and just enjoys the view.
Okay. I'm gonna wave down at a nearby waiter, probably not him. Wave down nearby waiter and be like, yes, my date, her drink should never be empty, and then just keep her being sauced so I can just
Great.
Yeah. So
Love
she
it.
just I want her drink to never be empty. And
Roll me a roll me a perception check.
Okay. And no, I nothing.
Darrison, she actually does wave you down. She waves you down, and you like turn.
I
and
saw the
look.
back of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, she waves you, and you turn to look, and
Okay.
Oh. Well, of course, madam. I will see to that personally. Please enjoy the party. I'm gonna walk away with my tray of drinks.
I'm just gonna be like, no, not a problem that I'm gonna deal with right now. That is a tomorrow looming problem.
I'm also gonna immediately pass the buck for keeping her drinks refilled to a different waiter.
go and roll me a persuasion.
I have
check.
my own stuff to do. 15 persuasion.
Bet it's the easiest thing in the world.
We gotta keep this woman
100%.
sauce.
That waiter turns and looks and sees a well-dressed Orjovan woman in like fine jewels and is like, yeah, I'll totally do that. Maybe she'll tip me. Literally nobody at this party is tipping, but
You know, I
it's
hear
fine.
she tips really well, actually.
Yeah, it's fine.
So yeah, my pocket's
But that
getting a
waiter
little
is just
heavy.
like,
I'll let you
absolutely
take this
100%.
one.
Lucien, what are you up to? Where are you within the party? Where are you?
So right now I'm in the washroom. And
Just crying in the mirror.
yeah, no, I have the water running, and I just have my hands on the counter. I'm
Shaking
taking
a little
deep
bit.
breaths, and I look in the mirror and I like compose myself and like put on like a big smile. I pick up my one second, please. I'll be right out. I turn off the wash. I grab my glass of wine. I walk out the door. After you. It's all ready for
There are
you.
like 3 people in line. Like, Lord. Somebody like enters, immediately kind of like almost impatiently slams the door.
Yeah.
Locks it behind you.
And the gobble of moonshine goes right through you, I'm telling you. It is.
Okay, and you are back within the foyer.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check.
7.
7. You don't see any of your like main party members themselves here within the main foyer section. One thing that you, pardon me, do clock is a very, very tall, taller than Thone, Loxodon woman, kind of standing off very, very regal looking for a Selesnian Loxodon woman. This beautifully collared blouse underneath her diplomatic robes. Just kind of standing off at the edge of the party, just kind of like surveying everything. Has a twinge of a judgmental look on her face.
Okay. She looks like... I make a mental note. I'm like, that she would be very easy to hide behind. if I were to need to hide behind something.
So he's in the foyer and I'm upstairs, right? Okay.
So you have upstairs, in which there is the dining room and the library, and then there is outside within the garden courtyard.
Okay, I want to seek out one of my friends, or any of my friends. Just
Any.
any
of them.
Okay, great. Roll me a perception check.
Set at 8.
8. You clock Darrison LeMay in
I'm running around
full waiter
everywhere.
garb.
Yeah.
Doing his best to like
Hustling and
take
bustling.
orders. Sometimes not really like clocking people, or like occasionally Darrison will like take a drink from somebody.
I'm definitely not remembering anyone's.
Oh no,
orders.
Darrison will take a drink from somebody, and then somebody will order a drink, and he'll totally just hand it to the person
Absolutely.
that like just ordered it.
Darius, come here.
Yes, sir.
Why are you dressed like this?
I am working. Did you need a drink,
Is that
sir?
what you call it? You're working? Are you working?
Yes, I'm working very
do you not
hard,
notice,
Lucian.
Do you not notice those very upset guests over there?
Yeah,
I
someone's
just-
gonna get them a drink,
there's-
I'm sure.
There's only one thing I want at this party, and that's for no one to be upset. And if you
Well-
could just, like, provide them actual service.
We are technically overstaffed because I'm not supposed to be here. So, I think it's covered. I think it's covered. I'm just gonna kind of do my thing.
No,
do you want
no.
something to drink? I
No.
have whatever this is, I think. Wine, maybe?
Do you know what you're serving to people?
It could be.
Roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
10.
10. It's fine.
Remember my little trick? It can be whatever you want it to be.
Darius, I need you to not cause any trouble here, please. Just, I'm begging you.
Of course, I respect your wishes. I will do my best to not intentionally cause any trouble.
Or unintentionally.
I
don't want any
can
unintentional
control
trouble.
this many guests at this party. You think I can control what they do? I will watch out for myself. I'll keep an eye out for you. If you run into any trouble, just give me a wave. I'll bring a drink or whatever. I'll get you out of whatever dull, boring conversation these people might get you wrapped up in. Okay? I'll be, we'll have a code word or something. You know, code word. What would be good for you? Like gerrymander, oligarch.
Harrison,
I don't know.
I don't need a code word. I just need you to stop taking people's drinks from them and handing them to other people. It's very upsetting.
Okay,
Those people aren't happy.
I'll see if anyone's
And
hungry.
I need everyone to be happy. Do you understand? I just want
Darrison, roll an insight check.
Ooh, insight? 16.
When you say that you'll see if someone's hungry, there is a woman right next to you that's like, that would be perfect. Yes. Can I get some? I heard that there was like spicy squash upstairs. Can you bring me like a little plate
it's
of it?
divine. Yes, I'll get right on that.
Great. Thank you so
Lucian,
much.
what was it that you needed?
do the thing you said.
Oh,
Just told her you would do the
of
thing.
course. Where?
She's waiting. Oh my God.
Well, this is your house. Where do they keep the squash?
Upstairs.
Okay. I'll confident on.
And I grab a glass of wine off of his tray as he turns away. Just
Make a perception check.
Oh no! I rolled a 1.
You take a
Goblin
swig of
and
it.
shot.
You
was
take
the
a swig of it, and it's the moonshine.
Oh god! I just pour it into my other drink. I don't care right now.
You do the thing where you
wanna
take a
feel.
sip of it, and you immediately just like spit it back in and just pour it into the other cup. And then take a big old gulp of
Swirl it,
both
try
of
to-
them.
Oh.
Let's move over to Korak.
Oh, okay.
Korak has gotten just one moment. So, what is Korak up to at this point?
Well, he would have most likely gotten a drink first
Okay.
and foremost. And then he would seek out to see if he knows anybody, like a contact or somebody friendly. Maybe his... no.
So, as you are getting a drink, within the dining room and the library, they have beautiful floor-to-ceiling, very wide windows that oversee the courtyard outside. And looking out, you actually spot your contact within the Gruul clans, Nelroa, the beautiful centaur spiritualist, dressed very akin to yourself, a few more natural refinements. You see some beautiful stones in place of like jewels or like bones or anything like that, but there's like some beautiful stonework, like earpieces and like an amulet or something akin to it all. And you see a, rather than a more ready for battle staff, something akin to like a little bit more of a ceremonial piece, kind of like strapped to her back. And you see her outside actively arguing with a very, very precocious goblin who is like probably 3 sheets to the wind from the window look that you can get.
I'll walk up slowly and, as like you would do a horse, I would touch and let her know I'm there. I will.
So you, as you make your way outside, you see her just kind of like very calmly standing there, no reaction, anything. That she's just like, I understand, sir. I understand your frustrations. I have to remind you that I am merely a spiritualist. I do not lead any of the. I don't understand what it is that you're doing. I don't like it. I'm not about it. I was invited here around proper, high-class people, and I'm not about it. And you come up alongside of her, and there is a goblin man in a very refined vest and a shirt with like a huge collar.
Oh no.
And as much as I hate it, it's the puffy sleeve shirt from Seinfeld. Like I hate that show so much, but like that's what he's wearing. He is looking dressed to the nines. And his shirt does have a number of wine stains on them. Probably fresh from this current evening. And you see Nelroa just standing there, keeping her eyes closed a little bit, just like, I understand, sir. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Great mother, are you having issues?
She comes out, you just hear her whole body just kind of like release, like...
Stamp of a just...
Oh, thank you, Raiseball. Korak, yes. Welcome. This is... He gave me the name Gregory. Is that correct? Yes, my name is Gregory Vasily. Vasily stands for vastly taller and better than you. But you can call me you said Gregory? That sounds so awful and so pretentious. Yes, my name is Gregory. How can I help you?
How can you help me? I think you can help me by leaving and going
Look, I have been invited here. I have... Roll an intimidation. At advantage, because he's strong.
Oh, well, I got a 19 on my first one. I'm taking the 19.
Oh.
That's okay.
I'm proficient in it.
It's still, yeah. So what's it total?
21.
Oh yeah. So it's like I gotta take a.
Yeah. You do that.
It's just like kind of like. What is it? Excuse me, and like walks underneath Nelroa's legs, and you see her just like
Can her tail just
keep
imagine
it
her tail just
together.
squishing
We're
in.
gonna see if she does. She does that.
Oh.
She tries, but he's like a little bit too drunk. He's like, gotcha, booyah, Gregory Vasily, everybody. What's up, Gregory Vasily? I needed a bathroom. Where's the pisser? I don't remember. Oh god. And he just pours his drink out, and like the plants that are next to him, and you see them like kind of wilt a little bit. He was drinking the moonshine, and he just kind of like half stumbles in, and you watch one of the guards just kind of like walk forward into the gardens a little bit, and like look up into the window and start signaling to another guard that's there at the window, and he just kind of like nods a little bit and starts to head back into the house. And you are there with Noroa.
Well, Great Mother, it seems you've had a very interesting start to the evening.
People invite me to these things, and I appreciate it, but I know that Bobarikmos and the other leaders of the clans don't approve of these things, but if we're going to prove that we are more than the savages that they plan us to be, we must do our part.
I agree. It's also a great place for information against our enemies.
Yes. I knew you were smarter than you let on, Korak.
I try to be. Some of my more recent compatriots don't think I'm smart at all, but little do they know I understand far more than they think, and perhaps I play the dumb brute for now.
Don't let yourself get distracted, Korak. This Udzik problem, it is a threat to all natural ways of Ravnica. It is a threat to all Ravnicans. There are some, and she kind of gives a look over, and you see her give a look to the tall Loxodon woman that you clocked talking to Thone before. She says,
Oh shit.
there are some who would bend their knee to earn some semblance of power with this deal. Don't fall prey to them.
Oh, I
Do
won't.
what you can. Embody our great boar god Ilhag.
Of course. He is the mightiest of all the gods. And
Just like this horrid tower Udzik. Embody his power and raise it to the ground. Salt that earth so that no more shall build upon it.
and I'll do like some sort of like all I can think of is like some sort of like
ceremony
similar
of yeah.
and bow. Yeah, salute. That's the word. And bow, and of course.
You see
Great
her
Mother.
return in favor. Roll me a perception check as you do so.
Big giant ass dice. 7.
You clock a person or two around you, kind of like give you space a little bit, and like continue wandering around the gardens. She just goes, "Don't lose sight of it. If you need to find out what you can here in this party, we'll talk again."
Of course, Great Mother. And I'll do the same. Salute once more, and I will stay in the garden area and just kind of peruse people.
Great.
Or-
Roll me a perception check. So you're kind of like looking around.
Come on, big dice. Oh, 14.
Ooh. Do you have any pluses to perception or just straight 14?
It's straight 14.
Straight 14. So looking around, the gardens here are beautiful, if not like exotically strange. You see a number of bright purplish dark flowers that you akin to nightshade.
Ooh.
Actually, here within the garden. You also see, mostly along the front entryway area, an array of crimson and white roses, all spread throughout the front entryway. some of them looking like their points are a little bit more like actively bloody than they probably should be. And that's kind of like right along the entryway to the garden itself. You also see a number of pitch black orchids growing within the center of the garden, and they're right along kind of like the back section are a number of corpse flowers and corpse weeds growing up. But they don't give off a kind of like a rancid smell. It's more of like a sickly sweet kind of scent to it. And there alongside you, you see a kind of like staring amongst the corpse flowers and kind of inspecting them. You see a very, very tall Devkaran elf, somewhere between kind of like a grayish and greenish skin tone. And his outfit is all like parceled and pieced together. It looks akin to like active live fungus and mushrooms, alongside what would be like traditional, more aristocratic garb, with the vestments and things like that made almost from like natural mushrooms and fungus than traditional things. And he's kind of staring at it. He goes, "Beautiful sight, is it not?"
Yes, this garden has quite the array of flowers. This one is a lot different than my normal proceedings with the corpse flower, was it?
Yes, these ones I actively enjoy. They've taken something that is naturally beautiful and found some way to make it appeal to less knowing individuals. And just kind of like gives a slight nod to you.
I'll return the nod just to. But
and you are.
Korak Ironhorn, and you are.
Interesting. I saw you speaking with the great mother of the Gruul clans, Noroa. Is that correct?
Yes. She's somewhat of a very close personal friend.
Odd. Interesting. Is there a reason, I mean no disrespect, that you are here at the party?
None taken. It's just I know some people, and they invited me, and with good faith, I thought I would return that invite, even
Kind
though
of gives you like, it's like knowing is half the battle, as they say.
Of course. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
You didn't.
Of course. And what is your name?
He just kind of gives you an up and down and goes, "Well, it is still a battle to know. Who else here do you know at this party?" Roll a perception check to see if you see any of the people that you know.
Okay. 18.
18. So you clock Lumi and Darrison heading out at separate times into the party. But you see Darrison near a group of people like close to the entrance, serving drinks to a number of people who seem to bear like symbols and vestments of the Azorius.
Okay. I'm going to make one a mental note of that, but you asking me all these very interesting, knowledgeable questions of who I know and why I know
Yes,
them.
and yet you're not giving me the answers that I seek. Who out here do you know?
In this area, I do not trust many people. And for good reason. You know, knowledge is half the battle. And the fact that I may not know who a majority of these people are. So, being forward and telling such secrets could lead to avenues less likely desired. That was a very pretty speech I just gave.
Lucy goes, you know what, you're quite right. How about this? I tell you one of mine, and you tell me one of yours.
Fair. And then let's start with you.
Only fair. Do you see that man over there? And he points directly to Darrison.
Oh god. Oh no.
He goes, that oddly handsome yet slightly impish looking gentleman. He's serving drinks to that man, and he points to a man in Azorius garb. It looks like slightly too Azorius, like showy looking. Think like the way that Darrison dressed up when he was dressing up as an Orzhov member, but like the Azorius side of things.
Okay.
So like a little bit more stuffy than you probably need to dress. Has like pretty greasy hair, it looks like. It looks like all of it's been like slicked back in like a not proper fashion. He goes, that man right there, that is the Azorius Deputy of Surveillance, Mr. Van Cleve. You would be remiss to not introduce yourself or keep an eye on him this evening.
Interesting. Okay. I suppose I owe a response in turn.
Well, I did show you mine. It's time you showed me yours.
Perhaps I could always just walk away, but I will incline. I know a very well-known Orzhov man by the name of, what was it? What was his name again? Darrison, what was your
Mal-
Oh, Malakrit?
Malakrit Darasson.
He goes, interesting. The purveyor of the, we'll say, fine spirit.
Yes, him.
They're fine. They're not like.
They're not fine.
They're
Fine.
just fine.
I mean, I'm not
Fine.
I'm not giving away, but I'm not also being.
It's technically fine.
Great. Roll a deception
Oh, fuck.
check. Why not?
Technically
Come
not.
on, dice gods, be
Just a
nice.
fake name.
4.
4?
Oof.
He rolled a 3.
Okay.
It was like, interesting. You keep different company than I anticipated. First the Great Mother, and then a purveyor of... He kind of like lowers his voice a bit. It's like, admittedly, cheap booze.
It's not very good booze. I much agree.
It's fine. All of these people are pretentious as hell. They're just going to admit that it's good booze, even if they don't think so. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
More power to him for making a buck, right?
Yes. Once again, this whole deal I thought was so I could know who you are.
Oh, what's that?
Yes.
Interesting. And he just kind of saunters off a bit.
Mother.
And you can watch as he walks off, the steps that he leaves, there's a faint bit of like browning or decay to the grass here within the garden for like a split second before it starts to regrow.
Interesting.
Thone, what you up to?
Oh, Thone's getting smashed.
Oh
Great!
no.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 19.
Ooh, try as you might, you are not drunk.
Smashed.
But
You.
he's got a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. He's gonna go talk to his mother.
Oh.
Oh,
Pretending
God.
he's drunk?
Okay.
He's got a little liquid courage.
So,
Yeah, he's got some courage in him. He's not.
So from
not smashed.
within the dining room, looking out through
Oh,
the
no.
windows to the garden, you see your mother, kind of like walking the garden grounds, kind of surveying the plant life.
Yep. and Thone completely doesn't see anything here to do. He can gorge himself on drinks and salad, and that's about it. So why not just have a bunch of alcohol and go talk to his mother?
Sounds like a terrible idea.
So you quickly down and then refill your already quite full beverage. As you walk up to your mother. For funsies, roll a stealth check. Loxodon stealth that shit.
Loxodon stealth failed. It's 6.
6. Your mother turns as you were probably about 7 or so feet away, and she's like, honestly, Thone, I thought we've had this discussion. You tramps around like we are legitimate elephants.
I want to know what you know about Udzek, because I know you're in a position to stop it from happening.
Ooh. Brazen ass.
Roll an intimidation check. That's...
Man, that's some
I
liquid
want to
courage.
say
That's...
I'm keeping a bottle for when we need.
is
Like,
not
need
my
Thone to,
Sumi
like,
snacks.
Oh, it's a -1. It's a 6.
She
Yeah,
kind
power
of
up
looks you
Thone,
over,
but
she
just-
goes, so brazen at such an event. You couldn't have come by my office to discuss these with me? Oh, no, that's right. You don't agree with how we handle things and how we present ourselves. Because you don't think we should actively show force and protect ourselves in our communities. Is that right? You'd rather, what is it? This seems to be your natural element, playing in the garden.
Jeez.
Wow.
Fuck.
Damn.
Damn.
You need some ice for that burn.
I don't know if Thone's sober enough. I don't want to have discussions with you. I simply want to know what's happening, because I know that you could stop this. They're building on our land, and it's your land, and yet you're willing to give it up.
She kind of looks you over one time. She goes, I don't... All of our land is all of our land. Everything is ours. This land is ours. The land 2 blocks away is ours. All of it belongs to Mount Selesnya, and we must protect it. Do you think that this facility, this...
A prison? A prison where you are allowing other free entities and life to simply be restrained?
to protect our world?
It doesn't protect anything. We can turn the entire world into a prison and no one's going to be any safer.
You say 6 of one, I say half a dozen of the other. It's the same either way.
I don't understand why you would ever do business with the Azorius to let this happen.
But you think I'm personally doing
I know
business
that
with
you
them.
speak with Azorius ambassadors.
Roll an insight check.
Insight 11.
She rolled a natural 1.
That dice is going away.
She's lying through her teeth. She is actively involved in some level.
Yeah,
She goes-
how did I know?
She just looks over and she goes, do what you will. You've obviously attended this party for some reason.
Because if you're not going to change anything, I will.
Try you may. Try you may. She just walks off.
Yep. It's gonna go get more drink.
As she walks off, both of you roll me a perception check.
Come on, big dice. 10.
10. You watch this interaction happen once more from the other side of the gardens, and you watch her walk almost kind of beeline to that same greasy Azorius man, just almost pushing Darrison out of the way, grabbing a drink, whispering something to him, and her walking away.
Do I see this?
Okay.
Yes. You watch it happen because you're keeping eyes on her the whole time. Darrison, roll me a perception check.
A 5.
I'm sorry. There is unfortunately like other partygoers who are very insistent that you haven't actually brought them their drink. So you do not hear what she says to
Harry
greasy Azorius man.
Could I, as I'm moving about the party, can I make it over to my contact's table or wherever she is at the time to have a quick?
Yeah, she's kind of
rendezvous?
lounging half-heartedly. You've seen her lounging away like on the stairwells or along the balcony area on the entry level, kind of like keeping watch and making sure that the entertainers are like doing well. Go ahead.
I'm going to like kind of like back up and like sidle up alongside her, just like, so how are you enjoying the party? I recommend the wine if you're going to have anything.
She just kind of like looks down at her glass. She goes, "Don't worry, I brought my own."
Of course. Would you like a, what is this? Squash? I don't even know why I
What
grabbed
are you-
this.
What are you doing?
Oh my god.
So, who's who? We're in a bit of a. I'm here, you're here, we're both here for different reasons. I'm trying to find out, a little something and something about what's really going on. So, who's the movers, who's the shakers? Let me
Stop.
know the big players, I'll do my thing. I'll be out of your hair.
Lord. I can't bring you anywhere. I didn't even bring you here, and I can't bring you here. She just kind of looks over and kind of leans over the balcony, occasionally, like, lifts a finger or something to kind of, like, give a signal to one of the dancers. And you watch one of the dancers kind of, like, flit their way across the tightrope and hang down. And as they do, you actually see them hang directly down to the greasy Azorius man that we've discussed before, who has made his way inside. And he is kind of chatting and talking with a female Viashino in a kind of like a stuffy military outfit. And he's kind of like half-heartedly talking to her and kind of like more interested in the dancer who has leaned down from the tightrope. And as this is happening, Alicia turns to you and goes, "That man, right there, he has something to show later this evening. I'd keep yourself in an advantageous position for it."
I'd certainly like to see whatever's going on. Whatever they have to show, I'd like a front row seat.
Just keep yourself far away from me when you do. Kind of
Discretion is my
saunters off,
specialty.
kind of like leans back up away from the balcony and pulls out a hip flask. Kind of like rolls up their dress all the way up, and you see kind of a few like scandalous views, but also a few people like, this bitch. As she kind of like pulls a hip flask out, downs a little bit, and kind of like puts it back into her little hip holster. And she goes, "I'm sorry, was there other things you wish to disturb me with?"
Is it so? What? Just him? He's in charge.
Well, all of his men continue to brag and talk about how he's been earning more money than ever before and been able to pay them more and pay himself more. And they've been having more and more work these days.
Okay.
Is there literally anything else you need, or
Any reason why? Like the nature of the work? Any hints?
I don't know. A few of them were bragging about the riots that happened a week or so ago.
Okay, that's something. Well, who else? Do you know anyone here?
And she kind of like grabs you by the collar and kind of like pulls you up against the balcony, and kind of leans out and kind of like forcibly leans you out over the rest of the foyer, kind of keeping an eye on everything and not making any more eye contact with you. And she just goes, Darrison, are you in danger? What's going on?
I'm not. I'm trying to make sure that no one else ends up in danger. I'm on a couple different missions, okay? I just need you to trust me, okay? I know you can trust me at the very least. I really wish I could tell you more of what's going on, but right now I just need you to trust me and I need you to help me. And I'll let you know as soon as I can. As much as I can let you know. I don't want to say I'm scared, but
She kind of just loses her breath and loses her thought. She kind of stares out at the crowd for a little bit. She kind of turns and puts a hand on your shoulder and she says, "Don't let what happened to Tilly happen to you." And just walks away.
Damn.
I will try to. I'll drop my play squash off at whatever table nearby, and just
fuck off with the
saunter
play
over and try to get close to this greasy Van Cleve guy and see what I can maybe overhear.
Okay, cool. We'll come right back to that in just 1 second. Lemmy, you've been off trying to gather information and things separate from Amiri.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
17 plus 2, so 19. No, 20. Dirty
Ooh.
20.
So, talking things over with the crowd, you've been able to suss out that something is... There's some type of display and show that is going to happen later on in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you've been able to gather, you gather that a man by the name of Van Cleve is going to be putting on some type of show or some type of display, something.
Okay.
And that it all seems to revolve around the riots that took place about a week or so ago. And it takes you some asking and it takes you some clever questioning before you're pointed out to the man. And as you do so, you see Darrison getting close to the person, and trying to, like, actively suss out, like, and listen in.
Okay. I'm gonna call Darrison over as a waiter and be like, "Excuse me, sir. I was wondering of a drink order." And try pulling
Yes, we're fresh out of the wine, but I do have this wonderful liquor. If you'd like, I could mix you a cocktail, or
Could
I
you show
prefer
me
it on the rocks.
You could show me where the rest of the wine or the liquor would be. Could you just show me a little bit of the...
Of course, madam. Please, right this way.
And we walk a little bit off to a spot, and I'm like, "Okay, what are you doing? Why are you near this guy?"
Well, whoever this guy is, he's the guy.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's what I got too.
Yeah, so he's got some demonstration he's planning. It has something to do with whatever happened at the riot, so...
Are
Maybe
you
he knows
okay?
something.
You seem a little off.
I'm fine. I just, you know, I'm accustomed to a lot of attention, but not usually so many people asking me to serve them drinks, and it's just these people don't have manners.
Can I check to see if he's lying?
Sure. Roll a deception check, Garrison.
12.
And
What?
an insight check for you.
Insight. Where is that one? Oh, no. Where did I lost it? Oh, so I'm at a 14?
Roll the 13.
So you can, something about it all is off,
Yeah.
but you don't, like, you don't know what.
Yep.
I'm shaken, but
It's
Yeah.
like,
not that.
he's shaken, but it's like a mixed truth. It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
something in there is not fully accurate, but
I'm just gonna clock that and then move on. Okay, so we comparing notes. This man, this greaseball man.
Van Cleve.
Yeah, that's the name I got too. Van Cleve.
Kind of ominous.
I.
Little.
That's not. No.
It's-
Okay. Okay. No. No.
I
we
mean,
need.
you can't say it's not. It's kind of a scary name.
Darrison. Okay, so there's some kind of performance. Have you heard anything else about this performance?
I don't know. I think the performers are doing a great job.
Well, not.
But the
Darrison. No, I mean.
demonstration
Oh my
was the
goodness.
word I heard.
Okay,
I don't
so
know if it's
and
a
Van.
show of. I don't think it's for entertainment.
I don't either. I think it's like a seminar of some kind. That's what I'm kind of getting the vibe of. And
It's
That's-
a whole lot of these are, from what I gather, there's a whole lot of higher ups from a lot of the guilds here.
did we get a?
Whatever's going on,
Did you get a time? Do we have any like indication? Is this like a Cinderella situation where the clock chimes 12 and this is when the
you
thing
didn't
is?
know when it was
Okay.
happening. That as you both are having this conversation, kind of like pulled off into a corner. Korak and Thun, you both clock this. Roll me a perception check real fast.
13.
13. So you three clock this conversation happening from like as you all have arrived, either like within the foyer or like the top entry level floor at the top of the stairs. But you catch a well-dressed man, probably like a very tight black turtleneck type suit, kind of like watching from the top corner of the room, just kind of watching the entire conversation play out between Lumi and Darrison.
So, what is your play on this? What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to?
right now I'm just trying to stay close, ear to the ground, eyes on the prize, and I don't know, get a front row seat to whatever they're showing.
What is he drinking? What has he been ordering? Has he been ordering anything?
Has he been?
He has ordered one drink from you that you know about, and it was the moonshine. And he did so. Seems like roll an insight check.
Inside is a 21.
Okay. He ordered it just before you stepped away with Lumi, and it seemed like it was kind of in a hurry, and you noticed him kind of like pull a pocket watch out when he did so, and he almost like changed his order like to the liquor right before. Like, he changed his order after he looked at his kind of like pocket watch and kind of like stopped having conversation with the other people around him.
Well, he's having a little bit of the sauce. I don't know if he's just here to enjoy himself. He seems like he's in a bit of a hurry, so I think whatever maybe is going on might be going on real soon.
Where's Lucian? Have you seen him tonight?
He's
Lucian,
dodging
what
glances.
What have you been up to?
I have tried to escape to where there are fewer people, like the library. Let's say the library.
Okay. So, quick pause in that conversation.
Yeah.
So, Lucian, you clocked Lumi pulling Darrison away and immediately were like, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot happening and I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So you escape into the library and go ahead and give me a quick, perception check.
12.
12. So looking over, you spot a pair of a scientist. You spot a Simic woman, almost like bluish green skin and pointed ears, solid white hair. It almost looks like kind of unnaturally wet itself, kind of slicked back, and she has these beautiful piercing yellow eyes, but you can kind of clock a bit of a membrane that kind of closes up and down on them on occasion. And you see them speaking to a very tall Vidalcan man, completely bald, still wearing a lab coat and a very fancy brooch, somehow that dresses up the lab coat. A beautiful blue shirt and red silken gloves, and they seem to be kind of standing at one of the bookshelves and kind of discussing amongst themselves some things.
Okay. Can I eavesdrop on them?
Yeah!
Drop
Roll
an
me
eve.
another perception check.
17.
17. So they are talking amongst themselves, and they're arguing in scientific matters of which you have no idea whatsoever. They are all huge 5-syllable words or more, in which they're discussing the matters of this or that or things like that. And you see one of them grab a book off of the shelf, and it is this very long, drab, drawn-out is it name. Roll me a history check.
16.
16. So it is not in fact an is it volume or almanac. That is the covers in which certain other members of your families regularly use to cover up the very smutty books that they really like to read and keep within the library, because who would honestly read such books?
Oh, Christ.
And you see her kind of grabbing it from the shelf and about to open.
I hurry over to her as quickly as I can without it looking like I'm hurrying over.
Okay.
Ladies, gentlemen, how are you enjoying the party this evening?
Oh, quite well. We were just having a rousing discussion about the gravitational pull of Ravnica itself, and whether that is gained more by the oceans underneath or the experimentation that they perform up above, and how that affects the ether and the magical pull. I'm sorry, you are...
Lucian Zozaxos.
You are of
I
this
feel
house.
like a nice little bow.
So, you are of this house, how beautiful. And they kind of take the book and kind of tuck it under their arm for a second. They're just that is so wonderful. I am Biomancer Ozuna of Zonot 3. Beautiful to meet you. And
pleasant to meet you.
this man, he goes, my name is Supervisor Tabor. I am of the Laboratory of Arcane Geometry. It is pleasant to meet you.
Such a pleasure to meet you too, Sir Supervisor.
He just kind of looks you up and over and kind of tucks his hand behind his back so he doesn't have to touch you. Yes, we have exchanged pleasantries.
I see you have an eye for, is it literary fiction? Is that right there? May I see the...
Roll a persuasion
Which
check.
volume is that? Oh, well, 20.
I rolled a 19, so you're fine. She goes, oh, of course. Thank you all so much for staying with us through the break. Sorry about that as we fix some audio issues real fast, but we are all good to go for the kind of lead up to an interesting event here at the Zilzaxos party. So the guardsmen and the attendants start ringing these little bells, and everybody in the grand foyer begins kind of like being corralled up amongst the stairs in the top entry level in that little kind of like entry hallway that leads out to the garden area. So that the entry foyer area is now completely clear. And you can see here within the center of the foyer, previously it was very well covered and occupied by like tons of people. But there is a beautiful... it's a new installment, and it's new to you as well. There is a installment of probably a 1.5 to 2 feet tall small fountain here within the center of the foyer. It's got beautiful Orjovan gargoyles around the outside of it, but there's no like center piece within the middle of it. It's just kind of like a water bed, essentially, kind of like here within the center of the foyer. And there are the Rakdos performers along the tightrope have kind of like moved off to the sides and are just kind of like perched along their things. And you see the greasy-haired Azorius man, Van Cleve, kind of like step out into the grand foyer. Where is everybody at this exact point in time?
If it seems like this is the presentation, I'm getting a front row seat to see what happens.
I'm gonna go find Amiri.
And you tried to go find Amiri.
I was actually, before you cut off to his thing, I was actually going to try to meet up with these two, so I'm probably close to him.
Okay, I'll say that you're at the bottom of the one of the stairwells.
Yeah.
Like you were on your way to, and then everybody kind of like pushed forward, and you were like, all right, well, this is, I guess, is the closest I can get here.
Yeah.
Where did I have the conversation?
In the garden.
In the garden?
Yeah,
That's
so
on
you'd
the
be
first
in like
floor,
the,
or the...
it's on the first floor, so you'd be within like kind of like the garden entryway hallway.
Because after that, I was trying to keep an eye on who my mother talked to.
Yeah. So you would be like at the front of the garden entryway hallway, because that's like the most where people can get. So you're kind of like here at the front, and you can actually like hear a few people grumbling because you are quite a bit taller than them. All right. But they know not to make a scene. So they're not actively saying anything. They're just kind of like being slightly grumbly, and they can deal with it. Where is Lucian?
I'm by the bookcase still, I assume, because I just saw this happening. So.
So you'd be you would head out. You're kind of like at the back end of the entryway, kind of like at the entrance of the library, as this all is happening. And Darrison is the like as close as you can get.
Seat in the splash zone.
Yeah. So as this happens, Van Cleve kind of like enters into the front door. He goes, "Thank you all for attending this evening, and thank you so much to Monsieur Zilzaxos for allowing me to have this moment to talk with you all about the future of Ravnican security. Allow me to introduce myself to those that do not know me. I am Mr. Van Cleve, the Deputy of Surveillance here with the Azorius Senate. Thank you all so much. You might have seen my esteemed work at the incident of the riots, where my machines, and he kind of like holds a hand up, and those of you that are on the top entry level, or like kind of like on the stairwell, can look over to your right and see one of the doors that leads further into the house opens up, and 4 Thopter devices come floating out above everything and into the grand foyer entranceway, and they just kind of like fly into a formation and just kind of like pause there. You 3 roll me perception checks.
14.
15.
Sorry, and you as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think
No, you,
No, okay.
you 2 are on like the actual first floor. So
What did you say? Perception?
perception.
Where is that? So 22?
15.
15. So all 3 of you clock when this happens, the gentleman in the like black turtleneck, nice dress robes, actively like has been looking in the direction of the doorway and clocks the Thopters flying around and like into the way, and just has keeping their eyes on them and not on the guy down there.
Okay.
Van Cleave goes, "Thank you all for attending. With this, we would like to extend our offer of support and security to those outside of the Azorius here, to be able to properly secure and protect yourselves. For this, we would like to host a demonstration of sorts. If I could have one volunteer from the audience, and you watch one of the Rakdos members that's on the tightrope looks like they're going to go, and you clock Alicia giving a very loud clearing of her throat, and they kind of like immediately put their hand down, and they just kind of like move back on the tightrope a little bit, and everything is just kind of like awkwardly still as Van Cleave is kind of like looking through the audience for somebody. Kind of looks over and goes, you, sir, you're one of the wait staff. You, of course, would be happy to assist in whatever needs the house requires. Isn't that right, Mr. Zozaxos? And, Lucian, you see your father. You're kind of like at the back of the crowd, but you see your father at the front of the banister level, just kind of like give a slight nod. He goes, "Of course, sir, come forward, come forward. You've been offered by the man of the house."
You mean the big guy, or I will take a very tentative step forward.
Actually, I want to call, actually. He's not that, you need somebody more brutish, more strong for your demonstration. Somebody of, if this is a threat case, he's not very threatening. How about me? Take me instead.
Well, honestly, if we're talking protection, one person alone isn't that Mr. Zozaxos, would you allow me the courtesy of 2 esteemed guests? And Mr. Zozaxos just kind of like smirks a bit and kind of like stares down at you and just kind of goes, "Proceed." And he kind of like bades both of you forward.
Okay.
I give a very, very nervous look to Korak.
I'm trying to protect your ass, boy.
like both gratitude and also just
Oh shit.
absolutely like, what the fuck?
Roll a perception check as you do so.
Thank you, but why? Why are we
12.
12. You clock as you step down from that stairwell. You actually clock from behind Thone. You see piqued interest and slight worry from the Great Mother and from the Golgari man that you had spoken with earlier.
Oh.
And they just kind of both give like a little bit more attention and kind of push themselves a little bit closer in the crowd as they do so. He goes, "Wonderful, wonderful. Now, many of you have heard stories and tales and far-fetched myths as to what actually happened at the riots over on the Transguild Promenade. I am here to show you exactly what transpired and what my devices here are capable of." And he kind of like holds his hands up and 2 descend down over top of you both. He goes, "Now, you all have heard stories of poisonous mist and people being fried to death, and those are merely exaggerations." And he kind of like holds one hand up, and all of the stun batons on all 4 of the Thopters immediately emerge, and you can see little bits of faint electricity crackling along the edges of them.
just for reference, are we like standing side by side, or are we a little bit?
You both are standing side by side,
Okay, cool.
directly
Okay.
to the left of the fountain is where he's called
Okay.
you down. The fountain, like the pool of water, is to your right. He goes, "You've also heard tale of this poisonous mist. Now I can assure you all, this is not a harmful mist. It is merely for protection purposes." And he holds up his right hand, and the two that are directly above you let their mists out over top of each of you.
And
Can I?
so we see. I'm gonna
my
push
mouth?
him. No, I was gonna push him into the water, so it wasn't.
I was gonna try to cover my face because I know what's coming.
And I know that's why I
Like
want to push you into.
filter.
The water.
Give me a second.
How many dice you got?
So
Just wondering.
both of you make a. You make a Constitution saving throw at an advantage since you are covering your mouth and you're pushing him in, and you
Yeah.
just make it normal.
Okay. Ooh, I got a 5.
13.
No, I had my 8. Excuse me. Oh,
if you're proficient in it,
and
you get-
10.
Okay. What is your hit point total?
23.
23. So you, as you just barely manage to push Darrison into the pool of water next to you, you almost immediately drop unconscious, and you hear just those of you around just hear this echoing of like gasps and like murmuring as this happens. You succeeded. So what is your hit point total?
14.
14. Unfortunately, even with like dropping into the water, as you kind of come up from the water a little bit, there's just enough that is still able to kind of like overcome you, and you collapse,
Can I try
not face
not to
down.
fall into the
I was gonna
water?
say,
Yeah.
you collapse.
Down.
You collapse not face down, but you are kind of like face up, unconscious in this pool of water, and you all watch as Darrison kind of like tries to fight it a minute, and eventually succumbs to the gas. He goes, "Now, the thing you all did not understand of my devices," and he holds up both hands one more time, and the three of you that are awake watch as the pool of water is immediately illuminated, and it kind of like parts of it look a little bit off from Darrison face up in it, but it begins to show a projected image
Oh.
of the one that is currently floating between the two unconscious bodies, and projected on either side wall and the front wall right above the main entrance are the images of the crowd that are being projected from the other 3 Thopter devices. He goes, "These serve perfectly well for crowd control and protection, but just as much for surveillance and observation. You 3 roll a perception check for me."
5.
17.
I will take the 18.
The 18. So, you two on the stair, like closer to the stairwell, you're probably at like the front of the stairs, and you're kind of down that entryway. You two have a little bit better of a vantage point of it, and you kind of like look up in a little bit of like fear and worry. And you can see the man in the turtleneck has not taken his eyes away from the Thopter devices.
Okay.
And in a second, he kind of just turns and begins to walk away into a side entrance further into the house, and the guards very easily kind of like let him through and then like close back. And you three then watch as the one Thopter that is kind of recording it starts to kind of like sway and move back and forth. And you watch the stun baton emerge once more. And it begins to beeline down and it strikes at Darrison into the water. Darrison, you are unconscious, so it's going to make an attack at advantage with you. What is your AC?
13.
13. So it is going to hit you for 3 points of lightning damage.
I was trying to save you.
And you all watch as the 3 that are floating up above all unsheath their stun batons as well. And you watch as Van Cleef go, "No, stop, don't worry, they only respond to threats of violence, it's fine." And you watch as the 3 Thopters in the air begin moving directly towards the crowd. And you start to hear shrieks of panic and fear and terror.
Shit.
And that is where we're going to leave things off this evening. We're going to pick that right back up next week. Yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll pick up next week as Korak and Darrison have fallen prey to the Thopter devices and the rest of the party. By the way, you are awake at that point. You are shocked away.
Shocked away.
Yeah.
Shocked away, so you're
Exactly.
good.
So we will come right back to that point afterwards. Thank you so much, first of all, to Oliver D&D for giving us a fun idea of a party guest here within the Zilzaxos Gala. Thank you all so much. If you all wish to continue doing similar things, join us every week here Sundays at 7 p.m. Central, and we are more than happy to take suggestions and ideas from the chat and from the audience as we continue having moments like this whenever they are allowed and called for. We're more than happy to take outside ideas and representation. It's really, really fun and silly to do so. Once more, if you are still catching up on Color Guards, we actually now have a YouTube channel. You can find us at Color Guards RPG on YouTube, and you can catch up on the first 5, soon to be 6 episodes of Color Guards now that we have staged a rebroadcast of episode 6. Join us this coming weekend for a rebroadcast of episode 7 so you can see how we got to hear this exact point on episode 8 this evening. And if you are enjoying all the content that we provide you, please remember to follow and subscribe to us. And if you are a Amazon Prime member, you get 1 free Twitch Prime subscription, so please remember to do so. It's completely free for you. You can renew it every single month, and you get access to tons of really, really great Color Guards content. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We will be back next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, for the thrilling conclusion for the Zilzaxos Gala as the Thopter devices are let loose on the party and the crowd here at the gala. Thank you all so much, and we hope you have a great night.